to PRI 2015 and MBE. This is our A460 cylinder head that mainly is used for truck pulling, and it's been very dominant for us. It's been very good to us. We have a 2500 intake valve in it. It flows 522 CFM. We can get the chamber volumes extremely low. That's how we put the design in it, so you can take the dome off the piston to enhance flame travel, to make more power. We have an inch 830 on the exhaust, and the inch 830 flows 345 CFM. It comes with either copper beryllium or steel seats. But if you look at the porting, we're not a production company. You know, everything is done to tolerances such as cup and HRA Pro Stock, things of that nature. All that goes into every product. This head also comes in a 10-bolt or 18-bolt pattern. We do both. This is our Northeast modified head for the big block Northeast mods in the Northeast. And this head comes with either steel or copper beryllium seats. It's an 18-degree cylinder head, so the chamber volumes can get down to 83. It has a 2300 valve on the intake that flows 425, and both right and left ports flow identical. So what the benefit is there is that the bad port is up as much as 40 CFM, and now that they're identical, each runner has the same signal to the booster of the carburetor, so it makes it so much more efficient that it makes a lot more power. We have an inch 800 exhaust in it, built for those size engines, designed that way so it doesn't flow too much, but it's also efficient. And we have most of our customers make between 900 and 920 horsepower with this, and the torque numbers are well over 730, and it's a flat torque curve. The torque curve is flat for about 3,500 RPM, so it's excellent on restarts. What we've done is, it comes with this lightning package that is included in the cost, and you can see that the intake ports are not too large, so it will be good on restarts and still make good peak power and good torque. What we've done is we've raised the intake spring pocket up 500 thousandths. We've raised it at the flange 400, but we've added 400 thousandths to the flange here that you can see, and now a stock manifold fits it. It's a one-piece bar for intake and exhaust. So one-piece bar that has 18 fasteners, and none of the fasteners go in through the intake port. So it will never ever rip the top of the intake port out like everyone's been used to for the last 40 years. But we've had a lot of success with this, and it's one of the projects that we enjoy the most. For 2015, we have a new intake and exhaust port for this particular item. We have dyno tested it. It is definitely better, and that's where we're at. What we have here is the 9-degree Brodex head that we designed for Brodex. They had a 9-degree out that was out a few years ago, and what we've done is we've fixed all the problems, all of the inherent problems with that head, and we've moved valve guide placement, ports, everything, spark plug. And what we have now is we have a 9-degree piece that flows 600 CFM, and we guarantee the numbers. We're the only manufacturer in the country that does. It has a 2550 intake valve, an inch 810 exhaust. The exhaust flows 360, and we do guarantee those numbers, like I said. But what we've done is, because we go from 12 degrees to 9 degrees, we have to raise the intake port up at the flange. If not, the air will not turn 90 degrees. So without raising it up at the flange, it would not have picked up any air. Where our 11-degree dart flows 565, because of the raised port and the flat chamber, now this flows 600. What also we've incorporated No more of the issues with the Big Chief style head. It's a one-piece rocker system with 25 fasteners holding the bar on. So this would be more similar to like an NHRA Pro Stock setup. The rockers are not expensive like an NHRA Pro Stock setup, but it does make everything much more efficient. No more pulling these studs out. No more of having any valve train issues. This keeps everything very rigid. All of that comes with the cylinder head. The best part about when you go from 12 to 9 degrees is we can come flat off in the chamber here. And what it does, that helps the air stay attached. So all the mid-lift numbers come up as much as 15 to 20 CFM. And the whole idea is we have to keep the air attached, and if not, it goes turbulent. So this makes it so we can do that. No more of scooping this out back here to pick up those flow numbers. We just come flat off. Same on the exhaust. It's pretty much just flat off. And this is great for anywhere from top sportsman to super gas, super comp, truck pulling, pretty much anything. But it's certainly the future of the big. This is by far superior to any other Big Chief style cylinder head, and this is MBE's. This is the MBE 5-inch bore space head. We use a Brodex 5-inch bore space head. We get these raw, and then we machine them. I'll do all the CNC work, guide bores, everything we do in-house, and so we dictate all those locations. This has a 2.570 intake valve and an inch 820 exhaust. The ports are very efficient, and these are real numbers. This head flows 595 CFM on the intake and 375 on the exhaust. And the exhaust is not a huge port, but it does flow a lot of air, so it makes it very efficient, so it will make more torque because of that. This is great for super comp, super gas, racing, top sportsman. That's mainly where it's used in. We have customers such as Steve Williams and an NHRA Super Comp that runs this particular cylinder head, and he's a multi-time division champion. What we have here is the MBE 18-degree conventional cylinder head. This design in the 18-degree, we have two different designs, but this design was first designed for truck pulling, and it's been dominant, certainly the dominant Chevrolet head in all of truck pulling and conventional head style, with the 18-degree valve angle, 420 intake valve, inch 800 exhaust. The best part about this is because we have raised the spring pocket up 500 thousandths, we've raised the exhaust port up 400. Now when we did that, now you have a port that doesn't look like something out of a 1965 hot rod magazine. Now you have something that looks like a race port. The shape doesn't change all the way through. It's an oval. It has plenty of cross-sectional area. This head will run up to 10,000 RPM with no problems. The best part about this is for conventional head, most conventional heads, the good port and the bad port are off anywhere from 30 to 50 CFM. By raising this up, now the air stays attached to the common wall on the bad port. So meaning the common wall common to the exhaust port. So what happens in a big block conventional head, what makes it so inefficient that we cannot get the air to stay attached to this wall. It always goes to the high pressure wall over here. But now, since we have raised this over the short turn and raised that spring pocket up so we can make some cross-sectional area, now we can go up and down. We don't have to just go widthwise. So that helps many areas. What it does is now the air does stay attached to the common wall. This came up 40 CFM. And now, so the signal is equal from right and left port to the carburetor. So you don't have one rich cylinder and one lean cylinder. And it flows more air, so it makes more power. This comes with copper beryllium or steel seats. Most of our customers do use the copper beryllium, and we do use real copper beryllium. We don't use the brass that most of our competitors use. But this is a dominant head. Also, we took the rocker pad And we made a one-piece rocker pad with 18 fasteners holding one bar on for all 8 rockers. None of the fasteners go into the intake port, so there's no more of pulling the intake port out of the top of the head. Those problems are eliminated, and now you have a valve train that's similar to like an NHRA Pro Stock style or Cup style, that's very efficient and doesn't flex, extremely rigid. But this also works for, we use this in drag racing applications also, super gas, super comp cars. We have plenty of people that use it for that. But this is our own casting. This piece has been very good to us, and we just continue to grow with it year after year. This is MBE's blown alcohol, top alcohol dragster, Pro Extreme. This head currently holds the national record in PDRA at a 351 with Brandon Snyder at well over 217. And Anthony DeSoma won 3 or 4 races in PDRA, runs this also, Terry Leggett. And also we have 3 different versions. We have the NHRA legal 2400, we have the NHRA legal turbo 2450, and the Pro Extreme, which we have a 2520 valve in that. In the NHRA side, we had Troy Coughlin, who won the championship, runs this particular product, and Mike Janis, who was number 2 in the points. Not to mention people like Eric Latino, Al Billis, and many others for that matter. But we've had a lot of success with this over the past 3 years. We have customers like Brandon Boer who put him on his top alcohol dragster. From what he was running, he picked up 6 miles an hour and a 1/10. So he's been very, very happy about it, and you know, and hopefully we'll continue to win championships with it like we have. That's what we do here. This is our 13-degree World of Outlaw / super late model cylinder head. This has the lightning package. This is our own casting that's casted by Brodex. These heads are used on Steve Kinzer's World of Outlaw car and many other World of Outlaw cars. Brian Morrison uses these. We have a lot of people that use them. It's been a great head for us. We have 3 different port sizes in this. We have a midget head that has a smaller intake and exhaust port. We have the sprint car version, which is the sprint car / super late models. What makes this head better than what most people run in the super late models is that the intake port height is raised 380 thousandths taller than a conventional 13-degree dart, 10-degree dart, any of that. And the best part about that is the same cross-sectional areas, you go from 390 CFM to 430. So the motor picks up about 35 horsepower and about 30 foot-pounds of torque. It's just a much more efficient design, that's all. So it's not based on something from 1985. This is current. We offer lightning programs. We have a lightning program for this. We have a lightning program for sprint cars. Everything, it takes about 4 to 6 pounds off the head, depending on which program we use. And the flow coefficients are great, like we said. You know, we're 280 on the exhaust and 430 on the intake. And we also have a 10-degree version of this also that will be out in April of 2016. This head also, we have our own custom bar system for this. We've added extra fasteners to the head. We have a wider bar on it to stop it from tipping because they like to tip. And we also turn the rockers so there's no offset in the rockers. And this is offered in a T&D or a Jessel. This is our 13-degree wedge drag race port. It's a 2230 intake valve. It flows 440 CFM, and that is a wedge head. It's not canted, and we do guarantee those numbers. It's flowed on a 1020 bench, so on a 600 bench, it would probably flow 450. As you can see, it has a lot of cross-sectional area over the short turn to handle the large cubic inch small blocks. Our grudge racers love these because of the inline. You know, people think that they're not as good as an SP2 or a splayed valve head, but they will make more power than an SP2 or a splayed valve head. Also, the port is raised up 380 thousandths compared to the standard 18 degree, 13 degree Dart and Brodex stuff that they sell. This is our own casting. It is casted by Brodex, but it is our own casting. The rocker system, we've had extra fasteners, a wider bar, and we've also rotated the rockers to take out all the offset. So there's no offset in the rockers. And most of our customers with a single carburetor, if we do the manifold with it, on a cast manifold, usually make about 950 horsepower with this. This is MBE's new for 2015 Billet small block Ford head. It flows 495 CFM on the intake. That is a real number. We guarantee that number. That's off a 1020 bench. If this is on a 600 bench, it would flow well over 500. The exhaust flows 295. We have a 2320 intake valve in it, inch 580 exhaust, and the exhaust does flow, you know, that large number at 295. We offer it with a soft chamber or without. We offer it with an 18 bolt pattern or a 10. We have plenty of water in it for the normally aspirated applications, and we also offer it with no water for the turbo applications. We have plenty of water everywhere throughout the cylinder head. This head is not based on any other cylinder head. We actually designed the ports and the chamber and everything, and then we built the head around it. To give you an idea, the port's raised about 400 thousandths taller than an SP2 or a splayed valve head on the intake side, and that's part of what allows us to get the larger flow numbers because of the larger radius with how tall everything is. Everything is O-ringed, weighs 37 pounds. It's not super heavy. It comes with a billet. It comes with a billet valve cover that's O-ringed, and also we have 24 fasteners holding the bar on with the Jessel system here. So we offer that with either steel or aluminum rockers. We've incorporated spring oilers in the head. All you have to do is put your dash 4 line right here. We have fittings that go into here that spray on both the intake and exhaust spring. So here, 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 and here, the fittings go in there. So all that's taken care of. So it's nice and clean. We have plenty of drain backs for the oil. This is MBE's new for 2015-16 Billet small block Chevy 4400 head. We'll also have a 4500 coming out next year, but this is the 4400. It has 32 fasteners holding the rocker bar on, so everything is very stiff on the rocker side. The intake port flows 495 CFM. The exhaust flows 295. We have a 2320 intake valve in it and a 2580 or an inch 580 exhaust. The head weighs 36 pounds. We offer it with water and without water. And we've incorporated a spring oiler through the head. Just run your dash 4 line right here. And then we have fittings that go in here that spray on the intake and exhaust. This head isn't based on a splayed valve head or a little chief head or anything like that. The port designs and everything were done, and then we built the head around that. Meaning that the port's raised up from an SP2 or a splayed valve head about 400 to 500 thousandths taller. And that's part of the reason why we can get the large flow coefficients. Everything is O-ringed. Comes with a billet valve cover that is also O-ringed. We've had customers make, on 399 cubic inches, make as much as 1157 with this, and that's 2.9 per cubic inch. So it's very, very efficient. This is the CNC manifold, the inside and outside. We take off approximately 16 pounds. When they leave, they weigh about 8 to 9 pounds, depending on which version that we get. And this is our super late model manifold. So this is not a billet, it actually is a casting, and we make these for 4400 and 4500 bore space for super late models. Fully CNC'd, no cartridge rolls. We have 3 different designs that we offer. Moving the power band to where you want it. If you want it lower or higher, we offer both, or all 3. And what we do is we pair this with our 13-degree head with the raised runners. This makes for a great upgrade from the standard 13-degree dart style heads and things of that nature. This is a much, much better upgrade. I would say as much as 30 horsepower it is over that. This is our new MBE valve covers for all the pro modified top alcohol dragster, top alcohol funny car. So this is for our blown head. It weighs, let's just say it's extremely light.